We are very excited that our visual companion guide for American Mah Jongg is almost ready to be released. Here's an excerpt where we go over some National Mah Jongg League rules and compare them to tournament rules. We would love your feedback. If there are any rules that we missed that surprised you at a tournament, please email us or comment below on YouTube or on our Facebook group. The first rule we'll go over is, where does a discard go? When you claim a discard, there's a new rule in the 2023 bulletin that says a player must place the discard on top of the rack, on the flat portion. There is, however, no penalty. This was confirmed by a call to the league. In a tournament, however, your hand would be dead. So it really is a great idea, and especially if you plan on going to tournaments, to get in the habit of placing any claimed discard on the top of your rack. Next, commitment to a tile from the wall. So be careful to remember that there are differences in when you're picking from the wall, when you're claiming a discard, and when you're discarding a tile. There are different rules for all three of those. When you're picking from a wall at a home game, you can touch and change your mind. But if you move that tile in any way, it's yours. At a tournament, touch the wall, tile's yours. Next, what about committed to discarding a tile? Under NMJL rules, if the tile is placed on the table or is fully named, it is discarded. It is now too late to exchange for a joker. Bye-bye, joker exchange. In a tournament, if it touches the table or is named, so it does not have to be fully named. And you might say, what's the difference between named and fully named? Green is fully named. 7 is not. So at a home game, if you see 7 and then notice that a 7 dot is available for exchange, you didn't fully name that tile. It could be a 7 dot, 7 bam, 7 crack. So that's the distinction between tournament and home game. Next, payment or penalty for throwing the winning tile. In a home game, a player that discards the winning tile pays double. At a tournament, there are different penalties, and it all depends on how many exposures, and this is really important, and this goes for all of these rules, to check with your tournament director in advance. Reputable tournament directors will have the rules on their website or easily available, or they're a phone call away, or you could email them and they'll email you the rules. Next, a bonus for self-picked or jokerless. In home games, you do get the bonus, and you're paid double, other than singles and pairs. Singles and pairs, you do get a double for self-picked, but not for being jokerless, because the score is already included that difficulty. At tournaments, it's not paying double, but you get points for bonuses for jokerless or self-picked. Be sure to just check as well, like we said before, with the tournament director, because those rules can vary. Some tournaments actually do give bonuses for jokerless, even if in the singles and pairs section. It's rare, but it does happen. Next, looking at a blind pass. At a home game, it's a rule with no penalty. At a tournament, -10 in some tournaments. The requirement of a current card. There's no requirement at home games, but it's kind of like etiquette or courtesy. It's somewhat intimidating to other players if somebody doesn't have a card in front of them, but most players won't mind. At a tournament, most tournaments require you have a card with you at all times. Next, payment or points for a dead hand. Even if you have a dead hand at a home game, you still pay the winner. At a tournament, a player with a dead hand does not get any points if a wall game happens. Next, using both hands to pick and discard. Now, somebody might be scratching their head at this one. At a home game, it makes pretty much no difference. At a tournament, you should check the rules. If you use your left hand or your right hand to pick and the other hand to throw, you technically don't have the right number of tiles. And while some players might find this nitpicky, tournament directors will rule that you can't do this since you have the improper number of tiles and your hand could be dead. Finally, declaring your own hand dead. The rules provide a player should not declare their own hand dead at home games. It has to be verified, even if you do, by another player. At a tournament, you may not declare your own hand dead. You should definitely speak to a tournament director in advance if you're confused about what would happen if someone says, "Oh, my hand's dead," and how the other players at the table react. We hope this helps and would love to hear from you if you have more rules that surprised you when you were at a tournament that differ from NMJL rules. If you're thinking of entering tournaments, check out our YouTube video where we had a panel discuss tournaments, and it puts many players' minds at ease and encourage them to enter their first tournament. Good luck!